What's going on, guys? Wade here. I've got a really special project for you today. We're just outside of Syracuse, New York, and we're with a special person. One of my followers, Kevin, brought me out here today, and we're going to work on his family plot. So stay tuned for this.
This is my great-great-grandparents. It's Thomas O'Toole and Ellen O'Toole. Still researching my genealogy with Thomas. He supposedly came from Ireland around 1852 or 1853, not too long after he was born. I don't find them in this area until 1870 on a census. I haven't been able to trace them back any further at that point. Thomas and Ellen, they both worked on separate farms probably about 3 miles from here. And actually the farms are probably about a mile from each other, which I'm presuming that that's how they met between the two farms, crossing paths. So that's how they established in this area.
It's a gorgeous agricultural community around here. I drove through last night.
And of course, they got married.
So this is a granite slant headstone for both of them. The issue here, not only all these lilac bushes, but simply the foundation that we chatted about. When you sent me some pictures on this slant would have just basically sat just a smidge right on that, just loosely on top of it, which is totally normal. There's never any adhesion with the foundation. But when we chatted about this, I think we decided on there's a couple options. We could certainly remove the foundation. We could dig it out, get a hoist, pull it out. But I think what we decided on is that for where you're at with what you're interested in doing and learning is we're just going to break this apart more at the surface level.
Yep.
So we're going to leave most of it in the ground. We know that because of the nature of the area that we're in, we've got a lot of frost heaving that happens, and that's generally what's happened here along with tree roots. That this will push again, but what happens here is you can see this sharp angle. It just slid off the back, and it's super common. And once it slides far enough, it just tipped over.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead, like we talked about, we'll break this apart, down many inches. We'll get that removed. We'll bring in some gravel to get it re-leveled, but knowing that this is going to push or continue to push. But this has already been up, almost 100 years. This was probably put in 1930 when Thomas passed away, and we're at 2023 right now. So I'm going to go ahead and say that for that 100 years, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah.
So for your generation and mine, I think what we're going to work on here is going to be a good shape, and it'll be a good learning opportunity for you.
How much would you say that piece of granite weighs?
How much do you know your Pythagorean theorem?
Not very well.
So it's 12 inches in depth on the bottom. It's 3 feet wide, 28 tall. So we're probably 700 or 800 pounds. It didn't work like this, but
You suggest hitting with the flat or the?
I love the splitting wedge of it,
Yeah.
but it oftentimes flops over for me too much to make it effective. So you can figure out what works for yourself. Not far from here is a cemetery where Katie and I did some cleaning for another follower, and Kevin DM'd me with some after pictures of that cleaning project, which was amazing of him.
What do you think, being as deep as it is, we just take as much off the top as we can, or?
Yeah, I'm still just going to go try and take the top off.
Yeah.
It's just deep enough that even though this is hard work, that'd be even more hard work.
Oh, yeah.
He told me about this stone where he had been making trips out here to clear a thicket. When he first found this stone, it was tipped over as you see it and basically encased in lilacs. So on my next trip to New York, we connected and got it back in place. Thomas was born in Dublin, Ireland, and a ship manifest from the SS St. George from July 21st, 1852 shows the Toole family, including a 9-month-old baby named Thomas, along with 3 older children and mother Anne. Through later documents, we learned that his father was named John, and they departed from Liverpool and arrived in New York through Ellis Island. Just so that way it gets out of the way. The biggest challenge, as you can see here, is I didn't have my overhead hoist with me to move this stone out of the way, and it was heavy, and so initially we just decided to use the sledge, and we took some gentle hits because frankly we just didn't want to impact the headstone itself, and so this foundation trim or removal took far longer than it needed to, but we just simply were wanting to be ultra cautious with having the headstone there and not have some errant swing or bounce happen, and so you see us futzing around with this a little bit more than necessary, but we just wanted to be extra careful. This will probably continue to heave, but this will at least hold some of the gravel in place.
Okay.
It's called True Grid. There's a branded version that
a seller out of Canada sells. They call it monogrid, and they manufacture it and they brand it to go under headstones. But we just have to have 2 inches below here, so we might have to bust this out. We'll probably be okay right here. The goal is kind of like right about there.
All right.
We just have to be able to have enough gravel,
yep,
and then excavate a spot.
This timeline also matches the time period of the Irish potato famine, where most of the potato crops in Ireland were being destroyed by disease. Families were literally just starving, and many left for America. Ellen, who went by Nellie, was born in New York, but whose dad was born in Germany and mom from Wales. In later years, the family lived in Syracuse, where Thomas was working at a factory as a laborer, and they also had 4 young men living in their home as boarders, which was a very common way to earn some extra money.
Nice job. So all we got to do is just dig out this hillside here, and then the width, which like I said is 25. So we're already pretty well there. We just got to get it level and down to that.
All right.
So we're in good shape. No need to go any further that way. This is our high point.
Okay.
So the way that these end up working is we will need to trim a little bit that direction because I do need to slot that in. So we'll have to move, we'll have to pick this up and slide it
back.
We're already pretty much ideal with the hole, the size, the depth, the width. So go ahead and see if you can remove the lower block and run it that way. Stack. So take this one out.
Yep.
Push it in as far as you can go. Yeah.
I'll make it the sledge and hedge it.
No, right there. We're good.
All right.
That's all we needed. The issue that we're going to have is the stone is still sitting down in this, so we are going to have to kind of lift it up.
Okay.
Yet again, which is fine, but as we go and do that, because you can see from where we are right there down to here,
yeah,
you know, pretty big difference, and that's basically this is sitting on. So what we want is one as low as possible, because if we push here, it's going to bite to the ground. So as low as you can there. And let's just do it right on the corner here. So we'll kind of spin it a little bit.
Like right up.
Yep, right on the.
Like right up in here? Lower corner?
We're getting there though. I just don't think we've got enough. Right in here. Yeah, right there.
Got it? Got it. Okay. One, two, three. And I've definitely got the tops.
Yep. Okay, so let's go on to this side now. So the other thing is we note that we can't level it at this point in time. So it was important to do the base and make sure that's level, because here, these are called rock pitches, and there's nothing level about any of that.